Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second Jeff Ed session that I'm taking. I did one last week where we looked at just really basics of meditation and mindfulness. Um, and yeah, these sessions that I'll be leading are basically, we've titled them Health and Healing. And so that is going to be the theme, obviously, which is almost a theme that runs through Jeff as well, and definitely through my flow classes. So, welcome to everyone for welcome to join. Let me just see if I can find you. There we go. So, if you're checking in, say hi. Tamara, always here. Hi, Belinda. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, let me know. I can see there's a few of you online. So just let me know that you're here. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And then I'd like to put the question out there that if you're jumping onto this now, when you read the title of Self-Discipline and Commitment to Change, what did that bring up in you? So was there something that immediately made you think of or made you feel? Um, I just like you to kind of get involved in this conversation. So you can always just make a cup of coffee, make a cup of tea for these Jeff Ed sessions. And yeah, it's basically me sharing my experiences with these kinds of things. And then, of course, I want to hear what yours are. Hi, Jolene, Lisa, Megan. Lovely to have you all here. So as you join, start commenting. I see here Simone just did your flow class, second class out of five this week. Amazing. Yeah, guys. So we're trying to get to 5 out of 5 flow sessions, right? So it's all about the balance. If you're doing HIIT, you should be doing a flow. So if you're doing 5 HIIT classes, every morning, you should be doing 5 flow classes. So well done. The classes are only 30 minutes in the morning. You can squeeze it in the evening if you want to recap. And then, of course, tonight's the beginners. Um, but welcome, everyone. Hi, Nicola. So, hi, Samantha. So I'd like you guys to, if you'd like, just share what it made you feel reading the title of Self-Discipline and Commitment to Change. So for me, that can bring up quite a bit of anxiety, but also a bit of excitement. It's change. Change is good as a holiday, they say. So yeah, I'd love to hear how you are all feeling. Hi, Razan. Welcome. Samantha, loving the new schedule. Amazing, amazing. Well, let's give it just another moment or two, or minute or two for people to jump on. Megan says determined. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That definitely ties in with what I'm going to chat about. I think that very often self-discipline and using the word discipline can be used quite negatively as a form of punishment or control or training, programming, that kind of thing. When actually it can be used in a really beautiful way and a really helpful way for your individual journey. So yeah, let's take a moment or two. Hello, Liebe. Lekker om jou hier te sien. Jody, meaning is to pay attention to yourself and make yourself a priority. Yes, exactly. That's great. That's really great, Jody. I love that. Jolene says it made her think of being excited for change. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, Michael, Desiree. Hi, everyone. Kelly Shaw says being accountable for the changes I want to make. Yes, amazing. Hi, Shamima. All great, great, great insights, everyone. Um, love, love, love these sessions. Oh, thanks, Nicole. So I've written down a few things when I came up with this, and I speak of this. Obviously, everything I say is kind of from from my perspective. So sometimes, take it with a pinch of salt. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't work for you. And so uh, change requires change, right? So something has to change for something to change. And for change to happen, a choice needs to be made, right? For conscious change, there has to be conscious choice. And so what leads to change, and what I've written here, what has led to change in my life is not the massive choices, I'm going to throw everything that I have in my cupboard out, or I'm going to completely change this or completely change that. Those aren't the choices that have changed my life. The choices that have changed my life are the small choices. And the choices that have changed my life and really taken me into transformation is the consistency of those choices. So choice plus consistency equals change, right? Easier said than done. So that's where self-discipline comes in. That's where commitment comes in. And determination. Someone mentioned determination now. So my little kind of summary here that I use for myself as a little reminder is that choice plus consistency of that choice equals change. And it's through determination, discipline, and commitment that you see transformation. So it's those everyday little things that really make a difference. And for me, I know that transformation has been that I know when transformation has taken place because choice is no longer necessary. So it is no longer necessary for me to choose this or choose that because the transformation has taken place, and that is just now how I am, or that is just how, things are and how I like them to be. Why? Because it serves me. So one very important thing when it comes to choice, I find, is the replacing of the words good and bad in your choices. So, or in your habits, or in your self-discipline, or in your any of that. And so what I like to work with, instead of saying my bad habits, the bad food, the bad whatever it is, right? Bad thought process, and change it with old. And then the good, we'd say, replace it with good food, do good things, replace that with new. And so you're working with old self, the old way you used to think. And so you immediately take away guilt, judgment, shame, anger, all those and negative emotions that can really and thoughts that can really pile up onto using the word bad around yourself and around the way you do things. And you replace it with new, right? So new, because new doesn't always mean good, right? You can try something new and you might feel like that doesn't work for me. And that's actually quite a nice segue into one of my other points that I wanted to bring up, and that is looking over here. Yeah, is individualize. All right, one person's medicine is another person's poison. So it doesn't help you look to someone else. Yes, there's inspiration. Yes, there's support. Yes, there's healthy input, all of that. But we are individuals with individual needs. And as an individual, I have individual changes happening within myself every day. So if I compare my commitments or my discipline or my ability to show up or any of that, if I compare that to someone else who's most likely in a completely different space than I am, then I'm going to continuously fall short. And that's kind of when we break our speed and break our commitments. So make sure that it is completely to yourself. Um, The time goes by so quickly. So again, a nice little segue is you doing this for yourself, right? So I absolutely love the word integrity. I think it's really important. I think it is spoken of too little. I think that being an integrous person, you do not even want someone to really notice that about you because it's just the way you are. And it's also one of those things that it's not a choice anymore whether I'm integrous or not because it stands by who I am and my true values and my authenticity. And so where that kind of comes in for me is that integrity is when Jeff breaks down, the internet and the world breaks down, and I can't contact anyone, and I can't look at the workouts, and I can't do any of that, and all these things that I've committed to, and I can post on social media, or I can do it with my buddy, and those things are all great. But where are you if all of that is stripped away, right? And to me, that's the integrity, the moments where you can go, I'm going to do 3 of those things because they make me feel good. And it's not that hard choice, right? Doing a burpee or a chirpy is a choice. I think that will always stay a choice. That doesn't just become, oh, I only do burpees now because they serve me. No, I'm just kidding. But integrity comes in with not having to prove anything to anyone except yourself. And not even have to prove it to yourself, to show yourself the new ways in which you can be, the vital life that you can live by those choices that become regular, that become habits, and that just kind of flow into a natural way of being. Um, and so taking the word integrity again before we move away from it is um, you will always know. There's always something. It's a feeling, it's a little voice, it's a something that will always guide you, right? Whether something feels quite right or not. And you know. Um, but there's also no use in shaming yourself. So, what I also wanted to mention is that with commitment to hard work, right? Often when we think self-discipline commitment, we think hard work, stick to routine, stick to what I wrote down, reach my goals, burn those calories, blah, blah, blah. All of that is fabulous. We need that in our life, right? I am a, I am a quite a lazy person. I've got quite a very chilled energy, which is my enemy. Not always though. But I think might have been a cat in my previous life. I love my naps. I love soft exercise. I like walking instead of running. I like breaststroke instead of doing freestyle. I like, you know, I'm a very chilled human, and you can't be like that all the time. So laziness, procrastination are 2 things that really step in front of me being able to stick to my self-discipline and stick to my commitment to change. So those are 2 things I really need to look at. Um, and the more you're struggling, right? The more you feel lethargic or tired or sluggish, the more you're that means you're gonna have to meet it with a whole lot of extra oomph. All right. So looking at those kinds of things, what is really sending you off your path of your self-discipline, of your commitment to change? And then going back a little bit. So, like I was saying, this is all great. Your commitment to your goals, your commitment to your oomph, your commitment to moving, to whatever it is. And then there's the balance of it. And then there's the other side of it. So putting all of that aside, you need to look at what is my commitment to joy, right? What is my commitment to bringing joy into my life? What is my commitment to having balance in my life? Because it's very easy to keep yourself going and motivated when you got things to check off your list. But if you take that part away, then there's almost like this void, right? You've got this extra time. I'm one of those people where um, I'm so scared of being my kind of lazy, chilled self that I end up jam packing my week with so many things so I can keep my energy rolling. But actually, I need that time, right? So it's my commitment to kindness to myself. It's my commitment to love to myself, unconditional love to myself. And so the layer of commitment to change can, we can speak about this forever. But I do think that that is really important, that commitment and self-discipline is not only around the more like goal orientated parts of our lives. Um, and that's kind of where it leads me to in having boundaries on your behavior. So having a look at what is, instead of kind of all this, I'm gonna add new, 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 right? That's what I do. If I go on this kind of health eating little spurge every now and then, the first thing I do is I go to the shop and I buy a bucket load of healthy things, right? And so boundaries on your behavior is looking at how can I, instead of adding all these new things in, yes, do that as well. But boundaries on your behavior is how do I stop myself from going to the old, right? So a lot of the time we are really good at eating that salad once a week or whatever, whatever, and then you fall back into the old, and that's when you start going out of your integrity, out of what's authentic to you, out of what serves you, and it's just old patterning. So we need to move away from that. So quite a nice exercise is to look at your boundaries, right? And not just physical. Okay, so physical boundaries of not going back to the old would be skipping out on commitments you made, the dietary commitments you've made. But then also very important is emotionally, mentally, and energetically, you need to have those boundaries up as well. So a lot of the time, I might not get to something that's really good for me or serves me because I've let my boundaries go and my energy, and something else or someone else has tapped that out. All right. So in the end, I maybe was still really committed to this new thing, but something old took its space. So there's no space for the new thing. I hope that makes sense. Um, Looking at my time, we've got 10 minutes. Awesome. So I just want to read some of your questions or comments. So just a few words that I wrote down here for you to maybe just reflect on what your commitment to that is in your life at the moment is joy, love, peace, acceptance, kindness, support, unconditional love, and forgiveness. All right, so a little more on the emotional side, a lot of these words, but this talk is a little more on a different level than the physical practices that we're doing. Um, and in the end, we really want health on all levels, right? We all know the body stores trauma. We know we run a nervous system. We know we have mental illnesses, and that is actually something I wanted to bring up, just because I was diagnosed with bipolar a few years back, and I kind of always bring this up when I chat about a lot of things, because I want you guys to know that you're gonna have bad days. And your bad days are not the reflection of where you currently stand in your life, right? It's easy to beat yourself up about that. I've gone for days where there was no life force, there was no drive, there was just no energy, there was no point to do anything. And that's okay, as long as you get yourself back out of it. And again, that ties back to individuality. You need to look at your individual needs and how they're being met, how they're not being met, and how you can live a more vital life, right? So none of us want to be perfect. We want to be whole. So we want that wholeness on all levels. And that really is when we're really connected to ourselves. And when we're moving with that, things aren't choices. It's not a discipline or a punishment. It's just the way things are. Um, and that takes hard work. And that takes hard work. Sometimes you need to give yourself a kick up the bum. Some days you need to just say, you know what, you worked really hard for 4 days, take a day off. Or do this at 50%. Whatever that means to you, again, you need to go think about that. Unfortunately, I can't help you with that. These are just all things that I've kind of gone through on my journey. All right, so let me just see here who is here. Stanley, very thought provoking. Good, 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 good. That is what this is supposed to be, is to get you guys thinking and really just observing yourself, um, write write down the questions and really look at these kinds of things. Megan says, balance, something I'm struggling with at the moment. Balance family, balance Jeff, balance work, balance myself. Constantly need to take stock of what's important and maintaining balances in all aspects of my life. I mean, Megan, I think every single person on here can relate to that 100%. We live in a really crazy world, and there's a lot happening, and that's exactly why I was saying, now, instead of adding, looking at what you already have and working from there. So I think we all have a lot more capacity than we give ourselves credit for. We can hold quite a lot. Um, and you just need to figure out what things are worth holding and what things are not. Because when you let go of the things that are not worth holding, or trying to juggle, or trying to balance, then you end up with more capacity for the things that are important. And you might find that you're actually okay, because things that are good for you don't drain you. I do not feel tired after a yoga class. I do not feel tired after teaching yoga, because they're in line with my authenticity. It's not a choice. It's just how it is. So I hope that kind of makes a bit of sense. Kabibi says, I'm so easy distracted and it keeps me from making sustainable change. ADHD. I need yoga to slow down and divert my energy outwards towards inner peace. So easy to type this, but oh my hat, I find it difficult to practice. Again, guys, it's also it's we have these unique individual experiences, yet it is so universal, which is really nice to know. That you're never alone. I'm not the only I'm not the only one going through a lot of these things, and neither are you. And it's just time. It's time, having committed practices, um, and things like daily. I mean, we're still going to get into daily routines and daily schedules and things on these talks, but that's going to look different for every person, and it's going to look different for you every day. So being able to hold the space for change, right? If you're inviting change into your life, if you're committed to change, then you can't kind of be a deer in the headlights when the change happens, right? So that's then another part of the process of change is I'm asking for change, I'm open to change, I'm inspired to change. Whoop, oops, change has just happened, and now I don't even like now I don't know what to do. And then that's another learning process. How do I use that change as full transformation? And so I think I almost need to jump off. I got you guys all writing over here. Amazing, everyone. I'll read through everything and get back to you. So then I'll just leave you with kind of what I wrote down is that with replacing bad, the language bad and good, with old and new, and then choice, right, with consistency, consistently sticking to your choices that are authentic and integral is what brings around change. But the only way that change happens, that true transformation happens, is by commitment, discipline, and dedication. And so I leave you guys with all of that. Um, like I said, it's easier said than done. And as much as you're committing to your change and your goals and kind of those things, is as much as you need to commit to your joy and your kindness and your love and really finding that balance and what works for you as an individual. So thanks all for joining. I will be back again with this little segment, health and healing. Every week we'll chat about something new. Please throw any questions at me or any suggestions of topics you'd like to chat about. And yeah, I'll see you guys at Beginners at 6 p.m. Ciao.